Dr. Alina, Boutique Bodyworks, back again to give you another quick meal demo. So today I'm going to do another skillet. It's lunchtime during the week, so that's what I like to do. It's nice and fast. And just so you know what time it is. So it is 12:15. So we're going to see if we can do this in 15 minutes or less. And yeah, so I'm going to grab my ingredients. I've got my skillet. I'm going to put some olive oil. We need our healthy fat to begin. So you can put up to 2 tablespoons. And remember that I have pre-cooked rice, brown rice. It has to be whole grain, right? We want plant-based, whole foods. I also have pre-roasted cauliflower, which I've done a couple nights ago, so I'm at the end of it. And some black beans that I cooked from dry, soaked them overnight, cooked them in my pressure cooker. I've got some frozen and some to use up. We need onion, and that's it. So, and the tofu, my protein. So you're going to have your protein source. So we've got our veg. All of this is plants. In this case, also the protein, because tofu is made from soybean curd, which is minimally processed tofu as opposed to processed tofu that's like fake meat. So I'm not a fan of fake meat. I don't recommend eating it because of it being highly processed and all the other extra ingredients that go into processed foods that aren't good for us. But you can choose your protein of choice, whether it's going to be fish, chicken, turkey, eggs, or pork or red meat. Health-wise, it's better to reduce your animal protein, so just know that. Okay, too much blah, blah, blah. I'm taking away from my time. So I'm going to cut up some of this and for the pan. But I do want to start with tofu frying, so I've turned this on just below medium heat. Got my extra firm tofu. Do store it in water. I keep mine in glass. I don't like to use plastic. I avoid plastic when possible. I don't use plastic water bottles. I don't store my food in plastic. Glass or metal. Okay, so that's going to fry there, or saute. You put this back, add water. That's how the tofu keeps. You want to freshen that water each time that you use it. Put it back in the fridge. Okay, cut up some onion. You could also add some garlic. Fresh garlic's always better than garlic powder, but I do often use garlic powder during the work week so that I'm not breathing stinky breath on people. I save garlic for dinner. But I do like the flavor, so I do tend to use garlic powder at least. So I'm just chopping this up into, diced basically to small pieces. But I mean, there's different ways of doing things. You could julienne it as well into thin slices, your onion. Just depends what kind of texture you like or how fast you want things to cook too. Smaller pieces will cook faster than large pieces. I like that light. Okay. So we're going to let that first side of the tofu fry. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and cut my pieces of pre-roasted cauliflower into smaller pieces. Now when I've roasted them, the cauliflower, I like it to be a little tender, still have a bit of crunch to it, not overcook it basically. But everybody's different. But you'll retain more nutrients if you don't cook it to mush, like my grandmother used to do. Okay, so I'm using up all of that was left over. Spatula to stir this. Here. Let's go down so you can see what's happening. And let's put some light. Ooh, the onion is making me cry. So it's just a little bit browned. And depending on your time, if you want to wait for it to get really crispy, you could keep going on the same side. Cook a little longer if you want. Getting out my organic soy tamari. This adds some umami flavor. It is salt, so you can buy low sodium if you have issues with salt, because it is salty, but it's fermented, which is good for the natural good bacteria of your gut. And let's add some garlic powder to that. I like to put it right on the tofu because tofu is bland tasting. So it just takes on whatever flavor you give to it. So I just put some organic garlic powder on top. Now what I like to do, my tricks, is I just morsel it with my spatula into smaller pieces. Stir it all up. Add the rest of my veg. Get that all stirred up and going. Now you could add, for healthy fats, some nuts for extra protein. I love cashews or almonds in stir fries. You could add avocado on top when we're done. But depends what your intake is, how you want your macros. Okay, I've got my black beans cooked. It's just black beans. They were cooked in water, nothing else. I'm going to sprinkle, let's see, just 2 tablespoons. So that's extra protein right there. And that's a lot of great fiber. Got my brown rice already cooked. So I'm going to put in about half a cup. Only half a cup since I've also got the black beans in there for my starch. So beans and rice both are starch. So I'm limiting my starch to a serving of 1 cup. So we're going to stir that up. I'm going to lower the heat now that I've added the starch, otherwise it's going to cook too hot and stick to the pan. I don't really want all my food stuck on the pan. I want to eat it. So lower the heat, have to stir. Okay, and we'll still add some more flavors to this. So, what do we feel like today? Let me open my spice drawer. So I've got all my spices here, my spice rack. And I'm thinking maybe some paprika would be nice. Most people have paprika in their kitchen. So that's a simple ingredient to add. Parsley. Parsley goes really well. Paprika or paprika, however you like to say it. I like to use the other opening so I can get a good amount. Now fresh herbs and dry herbs, serving size is different. Dry herbs are more concentrated, you don't need as much as fresh herbs. So let's give that a stir. And I think I'll spice things up a bit. I've got some crushed organic red pepper flakes. Pour it into your cup. Don't pour direct. If you accidentally over pour, there's no going back. This way you can control it. I'm going to turn the heat off. Let this marinate. And let's add some cashews. Okay, I have raw organic cashews, basically what will fit in the palm of my hand. We want healthy fats, but we don't want to overdo it because it is a fat. So my skillet is pretty much done, and it's 12:26. Now I'm just gonna plate it. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute off the heat so that, a little trick, if anything did stick to the pan, when you let it sit off the heat, the moisture of the vegetables, the food, is going to help lift off whatever's stuck at the bottom. So that's gonna sit. I'm just gonna put everything back in the fridge and grab half an avocado. I'm also gonna grab some Parmesan. So I'm gonna just cut half an avocado and put the other half in the fridge for later. Again, this is a healthy fat, good fiber. And then I like to just go like this, cross section, and then I'll scoop it out on top of my plate. Okay, so let's plate it. So if you see, as I scoop down to the bottom, nothing is sticking. I'm able to push off anything that might have been stuck. I'm gonna put it on my plate, which also makes for much easier cleaning of your skillet afterwards. Okay, so there is still food stuck there, so I'm going to just scrape it, but it's coming off easy. Put that on. Just a sprinkling of some Parmesan cheese that adds some more umami, meaning rich kind of, not necessarily rich, but flavor, you know, that flavor factor that gives you a sense of satisfaction. Okay, so that's gonna wilt on there from the heat of the food, and then I'm gonna scoop out my avocado on top. Want that little stem, and yep, that's it. And it is now 12:30, so it's been 15 minutes. Perfect. So we're ready to eat. I've got a nice delicious dish. Let's see. We've got brown rice again, black beans, just a sprinkling, tofu, cauliflower that was pre-roasted, and onion. We flavored it with paprika, parsley, and some crushed hot pepper seeds. And also remember, we did put tamari on top of that tofu, which added flavor. And then at the very end, we put Parmesan, just a sprinkling on top, which added flavor. And then we've got our avocado on top for some nice richy creaminess, make you full and healthy fats. And that's it. So that's gonna sit and wilt for a sec while I wash the dishes, and then I'm ready to eat. And so I hope that gives you another idea of something that's very quick and easy. I was able to prepare it, whip it up together in 15 minutes. Yes, I had some things pre-cooked. I usually do when it comes to legumes and brown rice. And if I have roasted veg once in a while too. So that's nice and easy to add into your quick meals. And that's it. Enjoy. Again, be creative with what ingredients you decide you want to play with. And that's a plant-based meal. Everything is real food, plant-based, minimally processed, flavored with herbs and spices. The only salt came in the form of tamari. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Until next time.